Welcome to Kaks Bar and Podcast, Canada's first podcast bar. What that means is you can come here for food, you can come here for drinks, you can also come here and record a podcast. Come on down, we're located in downtown Calgary, Alberta in the Beltline area. See you soon. And we're rolling. I'm here today with Hope Locke. Hope is a server at the Park Restaurant Kitchen Bar.
Yes.
Is it the Park Restaurant Bar or Park Kitchen Bar?
The Park Kitchen and Bar.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so how long have you been working there for, first of all?
I've been working there for almost a year, but I've been in the industry for like 2.5 years.
Okay, sweet. How old are you again, Hope?
21.
You're 21? Okay, sweet. What do you go to school or anything like that, or?
I do go to school, so I'm going into my 4th year, so I'm a senior.
Yeah.
And I go to Mount Royal University.
Okay, sweet. What do you study, by the way?
Psychology and Sociology.
Oh, sick. I actually have a sociology minor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my degree was communication culture at U of C, but I like that thing basically like majored in unemployment essentially. So yeah, and then I did a whole bunch of other stuff. But okay, so I met Hope. I knew who she was because of I know a bunch of people that work at the park, and then Hope is like literally always on their like social media stuff. She's basically the face of the park as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, Hope, tell me a little bit about like your TikTok game first of all, like, and are they on purpose making you the face of the park?
I don't think it's necessarily on purpose. I just think our social media lady, Abby, she's amazing. I think she just happens to be there at the same time I'm there. And then she's like, are you down? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't mind at all. So I used to like post on TikTok all the time. So it's nothing new to me. Just for fun, get some positive energy for the business. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, like, do you come up with the ideas for the park's social media, or is this all Abby and you just show up?
It's mostly just Abby, actually. She has like so many fun ideas. Usually she likes to, get us involved as much as she can. Yeah. But sometimes, we like to put our creative edge on it. I tell her all the time, like, should do like more ask the staff so that the audience can get to know us better, especially if they're coming into the restaurant. It's good to like see a familiar face or whatever. Okay,
well, I'm gonna do that now. I'm doing the ask the staff here at the Kaks Bar Podcast. Hey, let's have some drinks first of all here. I mean, I know it's literally early in the day, but I need a drink. I'm getting the shakes. Okay.
Cheers.
And yes, this is our Shaft on Draft at Kaks Bar Podcast. Thank you, Hendo. It's brewed by Hendo. Definitely come on down. Vodka, Kahlua, Bailey's, coffee, already pre-mixed on a tap. So there's no way to screw up the recipe.
No.
And I'm going to take a big swig here.
Love these shafts. Like, one of the best in the city.
Yeah, we might need to pause this and go get more. Yeah, but I got to try to keep it somewhat professional here. I got a whole load of things to do. Okay, but Hope, my business partner Cass, he actually knows Hope a little bit better than I do. Wait, did you work with him before?
I did work with Cass, yeah. I worked with Cass like 6 months,
yeah.
And like the entire time we just joked around. Cass and I, we have a special relationship, I think.
Okay. Like almost like big bro kind of thing, or like just
we like to joke around with each other.
Yeah.
Especially about like sports and stuff like that.
Oh, do you know sports? Like, are you big sport?
I'm a big hockey girl.
Okay. Damn it, wrong sport for me. Like I'm born and raised in Calgary, but like I'm not that. My hockey knowledge is not the best. Although I do like it. I straight up I am a bandwagon jumper. Like whenever Flames are doing well.
Oh yeah. Flames die hard.
Yeah. Okay. Straight up though, what's with this Diet Coke story? Can you like? I mean, I don't. All I know is my business partner's like, before you let the podcast get too going, like ask Hope about the Diet Coke or something like that. And
yes.
So like what was he referring to, and like what's going on with Diet Coke?
I was thinking about this last night before I went to bed. I was like, I bet you Cass is gonna ask me about my Diet Coke thing. Because Cass thinks it's fascinating. Like, every time I meet somebody new or I start talking about it, he's like, guys, listen to this. Because he just thinks I'm crazy, probably. But, so, like, a couple years ago, I actually lost a lot of weight. So I switched from drinking regular Coke to Diet Coke. And then I slowly became more addicted to, like, the Diet Coke. Anybody who knows or drinks Diet Coke knows that it can be a little bit addicting sometimes.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I honestly just drank regular Coke.
Yeah.
And then I was, oh man, I just had another Coke joke as well. but yeah, no, we'll stick to Coca-Cola. Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm addicted to. But yeah, the like Diet Coke, why is it like it's super addictive? Like I don't know this.
Yeah, it's like I think the aspartame makes it like really addictive, but I think also people love the idea that they think it can replace water because it's like 0 calories, it's artificial sugar, whatever. And so I actually like got addicted to Diet Coke, but specifically from McDonald's. It's a completely different thing. It's not like, and I told Cass this, and this is what I was explaining. I'm like, all Diet Coke tastes different. You just have to know which one tastes the best. And so that is McDonald's Diet Coke. It'll always be the best.
Okay, sorry. Keep going. I'm actually fascinated now. Like what? Like why is McDonald's Diet Coke the best? Like
because it always tastes the same. Every McDonald's you go to, it would always taste the same, and they like store it differently. They don't store it in bags. They actually store it in metal canisters, and so it changes the flavor of it. It's like a whole thing. If you look it up, there's a whole science behind it. It's crazy.
Okay, and is most of the public privy to this knowledge? Like, how do you or did you work in McDonald's before?
No, I've never worked at McDonald's, but when I lived in Lethbridge, my roommates were like really big fans of just like going to like McDonald's or like A&W or whatever and just getting a drink. And so we would always go to McDonald's and get Diet Cokes because that's what they drink. And actually in the States, it's like soda shops are really big. And so we would go to like McDonald's and get Diet Cokes all the time. And then slowly I just started going every single day to get one.
Okay, so like how many Diet Cokes have you had already today?
I actually stopped drinking Diet Coke now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I stopped drinking Diet Coke probably like a couple months ago.
Why'd you give it up? It sounds like it's all upside. You said you lost weight.
Well, I didn't lose weight because of it, but I switched to help with it.
Oh, okay. Like what? Were you? You're saying you lost weight, but I mean like did you just exercise more and then use Diet Coke and like I mean what are we?
Well,
because I'm a big fitness guy,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm kind of like
I kind of used it to replace sugar in a sense. So like if I was getting a sweet craving, just drink a Diet Coke and like that satiated the feeling of like wanting something sweet, but it was like 0 calories of artificial sugar.
Apparently Donald Trump only drinks Diet Coke.
Yeah, he does.
And I think there's something to what you just said because I think you're right. I think he only drinks like McDonald's Diet Coke too. I mean like
yeah.
Like don't quote me on the McDonald's part, but I do know like Donald Trump's like he just eats whatever and like and he like literally goes to McDonald's quite a bit and then who else was like that too? I think it's the golfer John Daly also like
yes.
That's all he consumes is Diet Coke as well. But yeah, no, but just like come like whatever trucking along here. Like you literally just stopped that addiction. You just said it was super addictive. Like
it was, yeah. So basically, what happened is I got super sick in the end of February, and I had a really bad throat and chest infection. So I was like literally like in my bed for like 2 weeks straight. Like I couldn't do anything, and I tried to have a Diet Coke after I had that, and it was just like the feeling made me nauseous, and so I kind of just haven't had it since then. I don't know.
Okay.
I know that's a really weird thing,
yeah.
But like that's kind of just what happened.
Your life story so far sounds like a Seinfeld episode because it just seems like like it's like the Diet Coke is like the main fucking thing in your life or something.
Not anymore. It was.
Oh man. Okay, so. Yeah, what's the plan with your life then here? Like, just switching gears
raise
a bit.
Awareness for Diet Coke addicts or whatever. No, I think for sure.
That would be a funny TikTok actually. You being like just all somber, like addicted, like your friends stepping in.
Yeah,
it's like
have an intervention.
yeah. They're like Hope. What are you doing right now? You're just in the tub drinking Diet Coke.
I know. I don't know. It got pretty bad. Like I would have like a lot in one day if I could. But.
Okay, but again,
Yeah.
it's only, okay. Wait, so sorry, I don't want to leave the Diet Coke thing because I don't know why it's just making me laugh quite a bit here.
It's just so silly.
Yeah,
It's like it's such a silly thing to think about, and then but it's actually a thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, like literally, it's like what's going on in Hope's life, and then you're just like sitting there like shaking, like I need fucking Diet Coke, man. I need Diet Coke. Okay, but again, like it's from McDonald's. So did you go there with literally a growler and you just like fill up Diet Coke? Like,
No, I would just like get one large Diet Coke a day.
and that'd be your hydration for the whole day then?
No, it would be like my midday pick me up.
Yeah.
Like instead of drinking a coffee, get a Diet Coke.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Okay. Sorry. I'm all over the place now. But okay. Back to your life. Like, what's the plan here? You're in psychology and sociology.
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously, I want to, finish school. Hopefully, we'll see.
Why are you on the cusp of dropping out?
No. I'm planning on going to law school at some point. I do want to be a lawyer. I've always wanted to be a lawyer. And then I kind of switched shifts when I got to high school. I was like, oh, maybe I'll go into medical instead. Thought about being a sports psychologist, like going around that. But then I really thought about it when I transferred universities. And I was like, okay, I actually want to get this law thing figured out. And that's why I took a minor in sociology, because it's all about society and how society works, which is great for when you're going into law. So next couple years, apply to law school, do some traveling. I'm still young, so figure some stuff out.
I like it. I like it all. What kind of law specifically would you like to go into?
I want to go into corporate law. So dealing
Okay.
with businesses, real estate, stuff like that.
Do it. We can use your help
Yes.
later.
And I'm not a very emotional connection person, so divorce law.
You're a cold-hearted bitch.
Not cold-hearted. Warm.
I'm joking.
Warm?
Lukewarm.
Warm.
So okay. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so divorce law, family law. It's a little too touchy for me, so I'll go to the business side.
Wait. Sorry, I misunderstood. You just said you're not super emotional with law.
No, I'm not super emotional, when it comes to, if people are upset or stuff like that. I have emotion towards them. I just don't know how to handle it very well, because I'm not a very emotional person myself, if that makes sense.
What do you mean by you're not emotional?
Like if I'm upset or whatever, I don't really show emotion. I kind of hold it together, and then I'll have a moment later. That's kind of how I roll.
Like when you're in the tub drinking Diet Coke,
Sure. And I'm crying to myself. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm a little bit older than you, but I'm pretty sure bottling things is not the way to go.
Oh, no.
Because it will come out probably in 20 years at a family picnic in a violent outburst
100%.
randomly.
Yeah. Not so much about bottling it. It's just knowing when it's a right time.
Right.
So in a moment, I for example, at work or whatever, if I'm having a hard table, I'm gonna deal with it later and just continue doing my job.
Okay, so it sounds like you're good at putting your emotions aside.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you can handle pressure then in a way.
I do handle pressure very well.
Okay.
I actually
okay.
work best under pressure.
What do you mean by that? What? That's why I don't get when people say that, because Cass has said that many times, and him and I, we're different. We're like two sides of a coin. Mm-hmm. Especially running this business, because I'm a planner.
Yeah.
And a disciplined guy. What's my schedule? Let's let's go to the gym. Let's do this. He's more of he almost needs chaos to happen for him to activate.
Yeah.
But then the flip side is when the chaos happens, he's the man you call, because he actually can.
Yeah.
Like this morning we had a bunch of stuff go down actually.
Really?
Yeah. It was actually kind of hell on earth this morning behind the scenes. But Cass actually again I was sitting there put up the K symbol into the sky, and then Cass just rolled in and solved a lot of it, but again I'm where's this efficiency when we're in downtime,
I think for me, I am a planner like you in a way. I like to know what's happening in my life, and like have not like a crazy strict plan, but like have a loose plan, you know, kind of know where I can plan my day, plan my weekend, plan my whatever. But I'm also like Cass, where if I need to step into a situation and like take control, I'm very like reserved enough that I can like work under pressure in the way where I don't freak out and I can just do it and then think about it later.
Yeah, I'm not like that at all. And the people that have worked with me, like, yeah, that's one of my weaknesses. But I like prior to launching this business, if I plan something, usually I'm so dialed in, it goes flawlessly, right? But then whenever it doesn't, like, I could throw a tantrum. It's horrible. Okay. So right now you kind of said you're basically you want to go into law, but basically at the same time do some traveling. You're kind of not trying to be offensive here, but it's like you're doing what most people your age are doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, just sorting things through. Okay, let's I want to get to know you a little bit even better here.
Oh,
I mean, like first, like this is our first. Like the funny thing about doing this podcast too, it's a lot of the guests I meet. Like we met basically when we're both hammered.
Yeah.
yeah, you know, like, and then now it's like we're talking not as hammered.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of like backpedaling, and I was like, and I'm kind of trying to remember. I'm like, what did I already ask her when we were wasted or whatever? But I'm starting fresh right here. Like, where were you born? Like
going back to the basics.
Yeah, let's go to the origin story of Hope Locke.
Okay. I'm born and raised in Calgary.
Oh, no, wait, like,
yes,
yeah? Okay.
Born and raised. Lived in the same house my entire life.
Okay. You still live there?
I still live there with my parents. God bless them. They let me live there for free. Thank goodness. But, I grew up, you know, just typical.
What high school did you go to?
I actually went to a charter school. So I went to, it's called Foundations for the Future, Charter Academy. So I went there from kindergarten to grade 12, actually. So
when you say charter school, like, I mean, not to make myself sound ghetto, but like, you mean a private school?
Yeah, it's a publicly funded private school. It's kind of what it is. So there's a charter behind it. The big thing at my school was learning about being a good person. So character was one of the biggest things at my school.
What do you can you tell me a bit more about that? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean they have a character program?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So it means that like our school, basically our parents had to like agree that we were going to participate in this program, and it basically taught us all about respect, responsibility, being honest, communicating properly to people. It was a big involvement from the teachers to teach kids about this stuff. So we went from kindergarten to grade 12 basically learning all about being a good person. And we had like a dedicated class period for that. So where the teachers would talk to us about this, and we would go through situations and figure out how to change the situation to be more respectful, to show responsibility, stuff like that.
Okay. This is how many hours a day? You said it's a section of a...
Yeah, it was just like once a day. We would just talk about it.
Okay, for how long?
Usually, like, I don't know.
I've honestly never heard of this, and this actually sounds super awesome.
Whenever I tell it sounds super awesome. Like it's great, but the rest, like, I loved going there my whole life. Like, I went to kindergarten to grade 12. My whole life was there. I went to school with the same people since kindergarten, so it was great to like have that sense of community and all.
Did you go to school with like Brooke and all of them, or?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. So these are just the park friends.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but I love them so much. But
of course, you have to say that.
I do. I love all of them. So
jokes, people.
No, I love Brooke. But yeah, so all of those people I knew my entire life, which was awesome. But there was like a certain extent to where it went a little extreme, I think.
What do you mean? Like it was almost cultish?
A little bit, yeah. It definitely felt like.
Do you watch The Simpsons at all?
Yeah.
Do you watch the early episodes? Because I stopped following the show in, like, because it's literally as old as me, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But the Ned Flanders character, is it like that, basically? Like, it's almost corny how nice they want you to be? Like.
Yes, I feel like, and another big thing at my school was academic success. So that was like a huge thing. So like we would be learning stuff that we didn't necessarily need to learn in high school, which is kind of like funny looking back because it definitely made our like school life a little bit more difficult because the expectations were way higher than they needed to be, but it also made the transition to university a lot easier, right? Because there was that standard that they wanted us to be at, and we were already there by the time we got to university. So that transition was a lot easier, but in high school it felt like it was a lot, but in the long run it was like better.
Okay, I'm still piecing together what this entire thing means because like I've never grown up with make yourself a good person program.
Yeah,
like there was none of that. Like I mean maybe the like I went to Diefenbaker. I went to Sir John A. Macdonald Junior High and and both those schools. I mean I had a blast with my friends, but kids weren't good.
And I think that's was like really important to my parents was like teaching us like how to be respectful and be honest, but like know when to say certain things and not to say certain things, like, and just having a good character overall. It wasn't so much like that there was a direct portion of the day that we talked about this. It was more the sense where like if somebody got in trouble, for example, the person that did, for example, if somebody like hit somebody on the playground, typical thing that kids do, but
Sam, you're referring to children assaulting each other.
Sure, yeah, whatever. So if that would have happened in our school, like instead of like them getting in trouble, the person that did it would like write a letter explaining why they maybe did that and how they are going to change their actions in the future.
That's so crazy to me because like like what you just said, Hope, is absolutely like a humane way of going about those things.
100%.
But at the same time, like the era I grew up in, like if I say a kid and I got a beef and then it escalates and then we like full on, which has happened unfortunately, like, you know, it's kind of like meet me here after school and then like a full on fight breaks out and like if the next day the kid's writing me a fucking apology letter, I'd be like, you already bashed my nose in. Like I don't care what your words say at this point. I'm getting revenge. I'll see you like in 2 hours.
I think the thing, like, obviously, like, when we got into high school, it wasn't that story. That was more, like, elementary, the beginning of middle school, you know, like, when kids can be, like, told what to do a little bit easier. But the other thing with that is it's not realistic.
Yeah,
In the real life, if you get into a fight on the street, are you going to be asking for an apology letter from somebody that did that? No.
Like, I mean, it's I don't know. I picture maybe a like Mormon missionary kid trying to do that, like, you know, somewhere wearing like a sweater vest, and you know, like he might be like, "All right, hey guys, we don't further try to have a conflict or something." But most of the time, I mean, the crazy drug addict guy that you're trying to fend off, it's like you're just trying to, you're trying to help yourself not get hurt.
Yeah, I definitely think, like, the one thing I will say is, like, I feel like there was, like, an alternate reality, but if you went to that school, because it didn't really prepare you for, like, real life, in a sense. Like, yeah, you had, your academics were really good because of that, it being ingrained in you, and then you obviously were taught to be a good person, essentially, but in real life, like, you weren't going to have the same experiences of going to a regular high school, dealing with, like, regular bullying, dealing with certain things that wouldn't be happening because they are not allowing it to happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely feels like you're training a bunch of softies, if you will.
No, essentially, yeah.
Like, I mean, because, like, real life is very
different.
Intense with, you know, like, it's I mean, literally, there's like a war going on, and like you're not gonna be writing apology letters or something like that. What? Okay, so did your school system? How can I put this? Like, I'm pretty sure cyberbullying is a big problem in your generation per se. So like did these social programs make a difference in lowering the bullying? Because something tells me it didn't. Or am I wrong?
I don't know. Like, I think another big thing with it is it was such a small school, right? We only had about 800 kids in the entire high school. My graduating class is only 150. So, like, if this was happening, they would be able to pinpoint it down very easily, right? And knowing these kids for so long, honestly, like, it wasn't that big of an issue, I would say.
What about like people from outside of your school network? Like, was there bullying in that way?
I think, like, yes, because, for example, like, I go to Mount Royal now, but last year, the kids at FFCA had to use the Mount Royal campus for some of because big problems happened to the school. This is going to sound ridiculous, but the year after I graduated, so 2020, the summer, it was just about to start the new school year, I guess. The school collapsed on top of each other, so they didn't have a building, if that makes sense.
What do you mean it collapsed on? Like the infrastructure just gave out?
It gave out because they were in the middle of getting government funding for a new school, to build a new school. So they were in this older school, and the building collapsed, which sucks. Obviously, all these kids, it's a week before school starts. Like, what are they supposed to do? So they found an old school in the south, and all the kids from the south lived a little bit further south, went to that campus of the high school, and then all the kids that lived north or further north went to the north campus. And then the south, they were at the south school for 1 year, and then that school burned down. The replacement school burned down.
What, did someone cast like a horrible voodoo spell or something? Like,
I think it was like an attack. Like, I think it was on purpose. I'm pretty sure the fire was on purpose.
Okay, so...
I don't know about that, though. Don't quote me on that. Yeah. But that's just what I've heard, obviously, because I know. And so all the kids that went to the South School now didn't have a school at all, because their replacement school was burned down now. So they all went to FFCA, or not FFCA, Mount Royal. So they used some of the classrooms at Mount Royal to, like, kind of replace their school until they could find something else for the meantime. So for the last year, they've been at Mount Royal, and it's been crazy because I see all my high school teachers there, and I'm like walking to class with my high school gym teacher, just catching up. Like, it's kind of funny. Yeah. But at the same time, all the kids that go to Mount Royal are like, what the hell is going on here? Because they're like, why are all these high school kids at the university? Yeah. Right? So it's kind of getting a little bit of a bad rep, because it's not a great look. Yeah. But I don't know.
Okay, so why do you think someone's attacking? Like,
I don't
are they
know.
like, I'm tired of this Be Good program. It's so corny. Like screw this shit.
I don't think it was like necessarily directed to like FFCA. I think it was probably just like they wanted to burn the building down, and it happened to be the replacement school kind of thing. I have no idea. I just think it's like bad juju or something. Yeah. What's going on there? I left just in time.
So, Hope, how many, do you have siblings at all? Or?
I do. So I have one brother and one sister. They're both older than me. And my sister is 12 years older than me, and then my brother is 2. So. Okay. What? And
maybe we're getting too personal here. These all the same mother, father?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So what was with that massive age gap?
Well, my mom had a miscarriage.
Okay.
So between my sister and my brother. So that's why there's such a gap.
Okay. And it was almost like one of those, like, well, like, let's not try for a while.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So sorry, the sister's the oldest one?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys get along or?
Yes, we're all very close. So.
That's awesome. You and your brother, I take it, still live at home, and then
yes.
Okay. Did big sis still live at home, or?
No. So my sister, she's actually having her first baby in like a month here. So
oh, nice. You must be pretty excited then.
I am pretty excited.
Yeah.
First grandchild for my parents. That's pretty sick. Obviously, I don't have any children. So.
Yeah, I mean, like in today's era, yeah, like good. But back in the day, I mean, fucking, you would have had 3 kids by
Oh,
now.
100%.
Like,
I know.
you
I
know,
can't.
like I'd be dead. You know.
I can't imagine.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. What do you think of like your understanding of life right now? Like how different? What's your opinion on just how different things were in the past? Like, can you even begin to wrap your head around when you kind of like look back on things and like just your life in comparison to how other like
yeah.
you kind of know what I'm asking? Like, kind
Yeah.
of blows my mind sometimes
I
because
know. It's crazy how, like, things have changed so much. Like, looking back, there's, like, things that we did as kids that you ask kids now, and they're like, what?
like what?
Like certain TV show references, songs. I'm like, have you ever heard this song? They're like, no.
Actually, we had trivia night here yesterday. Which you should come down and play, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But one of our servers, Molly, she's a little younger than you, but she didn't know who Stephen King was. And sorry, Molly, you don't know who Stephen King was. But I just remember like we were like me and Stephanie, the trivia host. We were just kind of like shocked on it.
Yeah.
But then we stopped to think like, are we that old that like that doesn't need to,
I don't know.
you know? But then I'm like, Molly, you've seen the movie It, right? Like, and then she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, well, that's Stephen King.
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, oh, but and then I made some other innocuous references to Stephen King stuff, and she just had no idea what I was saying, and I was just like, that was like a mega pop culture thing, like not too
Yeah.
long ago. So I don't know. I just feel like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is I feel like human beings now, we're becoming so unrecognizable from even like 10 years ago. Like whatever we're turning into now, this seems kind of like I don't know where it's going, because as far as my understanding of history goes, it's never been like this. Like you
No.
wouldn't have a program where it's like, hey, be super nice all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it also like depends on like how you're raised, right? I was raised on a lot of like 80s music, 90s rock, like, and my parents, like, my dad loves 80s movies. Like, that's what I watched when I was a kid. Like, people ask me like what my favorite show of all time is, and it's I Dream of Jeannie, actually.
okay, that sounds stupid. What movie is that? I've never seen that.
It's a TV show from the 60s.
Oh, it's from the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So like I love like old stuff like that, and so obviously like guess that song, my favorite game, because like I'm so good
Oh
at
man.
trivia.
Okay,
I'm really
come
good.
come next Tuesday, because they had so many 80s beats that
Oh my-
we
okay.
had no idea what was going
Well,
on
then
there.
I'm gonna win probably. But
Good. Well,
I
there's-
think like I don't know, my parents probably didn't do that necessarily on purpose, but it helped a lot at the end of the day.
Again, maybe personal question coming from me, but your parents are together the whole time?
Yes.
Wow, that's some of my folks. So it's like,
Yes.
yeah, that's awesome.
My parents are like a little dream team. They met at work, and then my mom like obviously raised us kids. She stayed home, and then my dad worked, and then they are back working for the same company again. So it's crazy. It's like a little full circle moment.
Yeah, man. Hope, I don't know. Like, I'm really enjoying this talk with you, because like you have such a wholesome energy. I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, I don't know you that well, so it's like I could be wrong, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just you have this perfect, like, not perfect, but you have this good nuclear family support.
Yeah.
Then you told me all your siblings like get along great. Like, it's like you went to school to get taught how to be a super good person. You know,
I'm
it's
making
like,
myself sound so awesome.
yeah. Tell me some shitty things about yourself, then. You know,
I think
let's
for,
humanize you.
I think definitely like from my family's point of view, like we've gone through a lot as a family.
Okay.
And like when we were kids, like all my siblings had was like my parents and I, or like my parents and then us kids. Our grandparents like live really far away, so we kind of just had the support of our parents, and so I think that definitely helped a lot, because we relied on them so much, and then they knew that we relied on them so much, so they were like, we were very close with our parents. Like, to this day, I'd rather go hang out with my parents than my friends. It's kind of bad. Like, I'll go out to like Cactus Club and get crazy hammered on happy hour with my dad. I went to like the Nickelback concert with my dad.
Oh,
I
no.
brought my mom to Stampede to like the Nashville North tent. Like, I don't know. And all my friends love my parents. Like, I wish I could be as cool as my parents, quite honestly.
I think you're on track. I mean, that's awesome, because I love how you just, unapologetically, and like I would rather hang out with my parents, you know.
Well, it's not that I'd rather hang out with my parents. I just think my parents are awesome.
Yeah.
So I love them, and as much time as I can get with them.
But that's what I mean.
Take.
That's rare. Like
Yeah.
it's like so many people are like, my parents are corny or something, you know.
No,
I
my
can't
dad's
wait to
my
get
best friend. I go to, like, we have season tickets to the Flames. I go to a lot of Flames games with him. Yeah, he's just like one of the most important people in my life, and
Did you grow up playing hockey?
No, I didn't. I used to be a synchronized swimmer.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
So that's my sport, but I love watching hockey. My brother played hockey. I've gone.
Was he good?
That's not his main sport. It's like
Okay.
he played hockey his entire life, and then he switched to track and field and rugby,
Okay.
and then he was really successful in that. So.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you. Okay, hold on. Let me backpedal on my thoughts here. Synchronized swimming. Sorry. How, like, what, like that's doing like a routine with a team, or is it just you and one partner, or like?
I actually had like multiple routines at once. So I would have like a duet routine, and then I have a team routine. Kind of depends. It's like a very competitive sport. It's really similar to like the kind of vibes as like dance, cheerleading, or gymnastics. So it's very competitive. The families are very in it. It's kind of a little bit crazy.
How did that even get involved? Like, did your parents be like, you know what? I think Hope would be into synchronized swimming.
No. So actually, like, when I was a kid at my lake house, my parents like figured out very early, because we had a pool there, that I was a really good swimmer. Like, just from swimming, like with my family or whatever, at the lake house. And then my mom decided to put me into speed swimming when I was really young, because I wasn't really doing any sports besides, like, you know, like Timbit soccer. Like, yeah, every little 3 or 4 year old plays soccer. I swear to God. But
yeah,
it's pretty like basic. Put your kid in soccer. But my mom realized that I would probably be a good speed swimmer, so I started speed swimming from age like 7 to 8 or 9, and then one of the speed swimming coaches pulled my mom aside and was like, she would be a really good synchronized swimmer. I can hold my breath for a long time, like stuff like that. So my mom put me into like the lowest level.
How long can you hold your breath?
I used to be able to hold it over a minute, because some of my sequences in my routines would be long. So I have to train myself to do that, obviously. But so my mom put me in when I was 8 years old, I think, and then I did it from 8 to 15. So
that's like 7 years. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
How many was this, like every day you had to do this?
So I was in the pool for 70 hours a week.
Okay, so turn that into days for me. How many days a week?
So I would be, like, it kind of depends on the days, because obviously I was still in middle school, elementary school a little bit. And so my practices would typically be Monday, Wednesday, 5 to like 9:30, 10. Friday.
Whoa, sorry, Monday, Wednesday, 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.?
Yes.
That's like 4 hours of swimming.
Yes. And then,
wow.
And
like,
then
were you fucking, oh, sorry. Were you, were you exhausted? Like, jeez.
Like, it was my life. So all I did was go to school, go to the pool, compete, go home. Like, nothing else.
Where was homework? Like, how do you fit that in if you're like...
That was one of the big reasons I quit, is because one of my coaches actually told me that school was less important than swimming. School was less important than swimming.
Well, is it because they thought you could turn it into like an actual career or something like that?
I think like I think it's just like the pressure, quite honestly. Like, they want you to do so well and put out on top every single time that they're willing to do whatever to make that happen, right? It's just like one of those sports where it's super competitive, so they want to be the top in the city, in the country, province.
Sorry, maybe I didn't hear, but did you chose to quit because it was getting in the way of school? Is that what you...
I also quit because one of our coaches was extremely toxic, and it kind of drove me to feel uncomfortable swimming anymore.
Okay. Was the coach arrested or something? Or
No.
Like,
It was just like it was becoming a very like verbally abusive
Oh,
situation.
okay.
And for like kids, my mom was like, this is not a good environment anymore, and it became very negative very quickly.
Yeah.
And
so they got you out of there.
Yeah,
They're like they saw the red flags.
It should have been a fun thing that I was doing socially, and for on the side of school, you know, growing up, like everybody has their extracurriculars, like it's supposed to be fun, and then it turned not to be fun. Like, and where you start dreading having to go to practice and listen to all of this stuff over and over and over again. And it just pushed you to the point where you're just like, enough is enough. Can't do it anymore.
Did you consider getting a new coach?
Actually, for my last year, our last swim was Nationals of Canada. So we were in Kamloops, BC, and our parents came together and pulled the heads of the association, and we're like, we can't have her coming with the girls to the competition because...
Oh, as a female coach?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
So they couldn't have, the parents refused to let us go with her coming with us, and so we had a substitute coach instead for that last competition.
Well, fuck. I'm sorry to hear that's how that got derailed, because, you know, you sound like you're super passionate about that.
Oh, yeah.
And,
like, I was in it, right? Like, it was a really important part of my life, and it taught me a lot of things, obviously, but...
Does synchronized swimming, like, again, I know nothing about this, like, is this something you can do, like, recreationally? Like, you sign up and, like, hey, let's keep doing some synchronized swimming. Like, you know, there's, like, pick up basketball and, like, you know, there's beer league hockey. Is there, like, synchronized swimming, you know what I mean? Like, or is it over?
It's definitely, like, it's not called synchronized swimming anymore. It's called I think it's called artistic gymnastics, or there's a new name for it. I have no idea what it is.
Like water gymnastics.
I don't know. They changed it. I don't, and I haven't been in the sport, thought about it in a long time, so I don't even know what it's called. Aquatic gymnastics, something like that. Okay,
so would you say you're retired now from that?
I am. Yes, I am. But it's one of those things, like, where obviously you can learn to synchronize. So anybody can do anything. You can go to the pool and be like, I'm synchronized swimming. It's definitely a skill you have to learn, like, because basically you're underwater most of the time, but it's like half your body is above water, but it's the half that shouldn't be above water. So if it makes sense, like, your head is underwater, but your legs are not. So you're doing things with your legs while you're holding them up.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, synchronized swimming's in the Olympics, right?
Yes,
Man,
is.
I sound really stupid right now, but it's just I didn't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
So go easy on me, people. But I don't know. I just have this weird image of me and Cass doing a synchronized swimming thing right now. Just how ridiculous it would look for us.
And the other thing is, I think, like, in film and TV, they glorify synchronized swimming a little bit more. Like, in film and TV, they're definitely, like, standing on the bottom of the pool, like, while they're moving their arms and whatever. But in reality, it's you keeping your legs above water. You have to, it's called this thing called sculling is what it is. And so I don't know if you can see me, but basically when you...
Camera's on you, yeah.
If you have your palms like this, you're going to push the water, and the pressure is going to keep you floating if you continue to go.
Do that same thing. Put your hand up a little higher, though.
Like this.
Okay.
So if you're pulling away, the pressure is going to move the water, so it forces you up. And then you just continue going.
So it's like upside down treading like almost.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And then you can only do it for a minute at a time because you're holding your breath.
Yeah, and then you can come up and then tread with your legs instead.
Right. What give me an example of what your feet would be doing. Like you just be like what, like, are you I don't know, like, are you doing high fives with your feet?
Like, your legs are moving constantly.
Yeah.
So you're doing, like, motions where, like, you're bending your leg, you're straightening it, like, you're moving up and down.
So is it judged on, it's judged, right?
It's judged.
So
it's judged on, so every movement underwater that you do, so example, this is my left leg, this is my right leg. My right leg is laying on the water, and my left leg is in the air. This is called a figure. So they're judging on your figure, how perfect your figure is, how your form is when you're doing your figure, because there's underwater cameras and stuff. And then they're judging how high your leg is and stuff like that. Basically the perfection of the figure. They're also going to be marking, obviously, the aesthetics of the routine, so how the musicality is, like
the pageantry.
Yes,
Yeah.
how it looks. Does it look nice? Obviously, are you on beat? Because it's one of those things. It's a routine, right?
How many people are doing this at the same time here? Like, what is it, a team or is it?
Yeah, so a team is 8 people.
Oh, wow.
So a team is 8, and then duet 2, solo 1.
Which ones did you do again? Sorry.
I did all 3.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so I've done.
Wait, so for the solo one,
Mm-hmm.
does the coach make your routine, or it's up to you to create it?
No, the coach makes the routine, and then
Got
they
it.
pick the music, they cut the music, they whatever. But the biggest thing about having a solo or a duet is you have to, another thing they judge on is how you use the pool. So if on a team, it's a lot easier to use a pool because there's more of you, so you can spread yourselves out or move a little bit easier because you have to keep up with each other. But in a solo or a duet, you have to be in the pool by yourself or just with one other person, so you have to make yourself look like you're using the entire pool. So like it genuinely is, you're in the pool for maybe like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, but it's exhausting. That whole time, you are exhausted because you are trying your best to think of so many things at once.
Hey, Hope, I got a question for you here. Again, I don't know. We're on a podcast and we're just chatting. But like you said you lost a bunch of weight. It sounds like when you're doing this, like you were in sick shape, I would imagine.
Yes.
So what do you mean by can you stop that you said you stopped synchronized swimming at 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you just kind of do the like I'm done working out and then just kind of let yourself go kind of thing, or what do you mean by you put on like lost weight and then?
So I've actually lost 100 pounds.
You were 100 pounds heavier?
Yes.
Wow.
So I know it's
Well, hey, like, congrats.
Thank
Because
you.
I'm big into training and fitness, so I know,
it's
But
hard.
again, wait, it sounds like you just drank Diet Coke or whatever it is.
It sounds like I just did that. No.
Okay.
So after I stopped swimming, obviously when you're that competitive, constantly working out, constantly doing stuff, and then you quit, you're still having the same like diet intake. So I was still consuming 3,000 calories a day at 15.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because
Because you're used to it.
I was used to it.
And then you
my
got hungry
body
at certain times,
Exactly.
yeah.
I wasn't, the switch, the turnover was very hard. And so I just kept gaining weight because I wasn't doing the same amount of activity.
And then if you didn't want to be eating, then you had that discomfort of hunger, yeah.
And I wasn't doing anything, so I was always bored, and so I was always thinking about eating, and so it was just like a never-ending cycle. So I kind of got into this stage where I was starting to develop a little bit of like a binge eating thing, which obviously is not great. And then my mom actually got me a sports psychologist because after I quit, I was like a lost puppy. I didn't know what to do with myself because
that was your identity in a way.
My identity was being a synchronized swimmer. It was my life. And so I kind of lost myself a little bit. And so I started working with a sports psychologist, which really helped. And like her honestly explaining to me that like life is more than just your sport. Even though you love something so much, it doesn't necessarily mean that like that's your purpose. It was a chapter in your life that maybe needed to close.
Man.
If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, like I've interacted with so many athletes that Connor here, one of our bartenders. Well, you know Connor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cass's youngest
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
So he played in the AJHL. Like he was all in on hockey, and then he stopped, and he said like there was a little bit of a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Well, not midlife. I mean, like whatever. Quarter life.
You just feel like you lose yourself a little.
Yeah,
bit
he said there was a little bit of like a depression there that hits.
You're focusing so much on something and then you don't focus on it at all.
Yeah, actually the other day I met an ex-Calgary Hitman player, and he was shadowing our food rep, and I just remember like I was chatting with him because the chef was talking to the food rep, and then when like I just looked at him because he's like in great shape. This dude's like tall and like strong, like big, broad shoulders, and like I can tell he was an athlete. And then once he told me, he's like, yeah, I used to play for the Hitman. And then he explained he's like kind of like, yeah, I'm actually going through some shit right now.
Yeah,
like I don't know what to do with myself. I used to train like for a purpose, like 7 days a week. Now it's like I'm going to the gym, but like I don't know how intense to go,
Exactly.
like because I'm still in great shape. So it was like, why would I why do I need to do this? And then, and like now he has a job, and he's kind of confused about, wow, no, his emotions just all over the place.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I hear that a lot. And so, yeah, you went through that at 15.
Yeah.
It's good that you got that, like, out of the way.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
so I worked with my sports psychologist for a while, and then I actually worked with a dietitian. So she would come to my house, and we would talk about certain things, and it helped me a lot, but it also, like, no offense to these people that were helping me, the only person that was going to make this choice was myself. And so I told my mom that, like, I didn't really want to see them anymore. It wasn't necessarily like anything personal, but I didn't really need to see the sports psychologist anymore. She kind of explained the things, and I was like at peace of where I was at. Dietitian, like, obviously, what else can she tell me? If I'm not going to listen to her, the only thing that can help me is myself. And so I think I was 17, and finally, after this process had happened, I finally just one day was like, enough is enough. And so immediately not immediately, but like the next week, I started diet. Diet is the biggest thing I started with. So I didn't restrict myself, but I was switching all my choices. And that's when I completely cut out fast food. I did not eat fast food for 5 years. So
what is the diet then that you switched to? I mean, like, I'm big into nutrition stuff too. Do I personally follow any of it? No.
Yeah.
But because I have a different body type, right? I have different fitness goals, and like, but I'm curious as to, because like this is gonna help people, right?
Yeah.
Like you lost 100 pounds.
Yeah.
So like what's the diet? Like, what's your diet like now? How often do you eat, et cetera, et cetera?
So it's a lot different now, obviously. So when I first started, I honestly just switched to whole foods. I wasn't eating like processed foods. I wasn't eating any fast food. I wasn't really even eating out. I would just make all my own food myself, so I would know what I was eating. So I would like still eat like sandwiches and stuff, but I would eat like whole wheat bread, turkey breast, like super lean foods, lots of salmon, lots of veggies. Like that's what I would snack on. And honestly, like the first 50 pounds of it was diet. 100% it was diet. Like, and then after the first 50 pounds, like, that's when it got hard. Because you're like, your body can only lose so much weight naturally before you actually start doing something. And so then I actually got, which is going to not be great, but I got really depressed. So I lost a lot of weight because of that as well.
What?
Just because I wasn't eating, basically. Because I was really depressed, not in
How old were you when you had this depression?
18. So I lost 50 pounds, and then COVID happened, and then I was freshly 18. I turned 18 February of 2020. So I was so excited about being 18, and then
it's like, too
COVID
bad.
hit.
Yeah.
My graduation got canceled. My brother had a very extreme health scare. It was just like a big time for me, and so I fell into a really bad state of depression, and it lasted like 2 or 3, 4 months, and so I lost a lot of weight because I was just really not in a good space.
Were you is it because of like is it like depression, mental health is a major problem with a lot of people, so is it were you were depressed because of primarily like COVID screwing you over for some things you were looking forward to socially, which is, you said you turned 18, so you're probably like thinking like, hey, like time to go hang out with friends at a bar or whatever, but like, you're like, hey, I can't even do this yet. And then like I'm just trying to understand people's like Hope, this sounds silly, but like I'm quite a bit older than you. It's like there's just so much more crazy shit coming down your pipeline. 100%. So like sometimes when I reflect on like times I felt sad in the past too, I'm like, that was some like rookie shit. Like that was not worth even having feeling sad for 2 seconds, because there's like way worse shit coming down the pipe. So I don't know. So I'm just kind of curious, like, or is it because this is the first time maybe you've experienced that emotion that intensely?
I think it was like a lot of things, quite honestly. I think I was upset of obviously not being able to go to my first year of university properly. I didn't have a graduation. Stuff like that, but I think honestly the biggest thing was my brother's health scare. He almost died, which was really... What
happened?
He got diagnosed with severe epilepsy, but he had a huge accident, like, at our house. And it was just a big ordeal. Like, my parents almost had to sue the hospital, stuff like that. So that, honestly, was a really big wake-up call for me, that, like, obviously life is short, you can't dwell on the past and stuff, but it honestly was really hard for me to process.
He's okay now?
He is stable now, so we're all good. He's been doing great recently, but it was just, like, a lot, like, that was the reason, like, my dad moved home, like, it was just, like, a big thing. Even to this day, like, it's only been, like, 3 years, but it's an adjustment. It was an adjustment, and I think...
What do you mean by your dad moved home?
So my dad was actually living in Medicine Hat at the time, because he works in the car business, so he was there, and it was too much for him, so he moved home, actually. So it was just, like, a lot, quite honestly, for our family. And so, yeah, that was, like, a big depression that I slipped into, and that's obviously why I probably lost a bunch of more weight, is because I was just not...
Let's talk about the comeback then. Or are you still depressed?
Oh, no, I'm good now. I'm good now, but
like,
it was a lot.
So how'd you get out of it? Like,
honestly, like, I think I moved away from home for a year. I used to go to school in Lethbridge before I transferred to Mount Royal.
Like U of L?
Yes, I did go to U of L. So I think moving away to school for a year really helped with that, you know, kind of being an adult for once, and, like, kind of making my own decisions, doing my own thing. As much as I hated living in Lethbridge and being there, obviously, because I transferred back, I think I gained a lot of life experience and learned a lot of things, and just I was able to, you know, get out of that depression, get some new friends, and then that's when I started my actual fitness journey, and yeah, so.
Okay, let's wind this down here. But I want to hear about your fitness journey now.
Yes.
Like, do you work out all the time? Like,
I work
what?
out 5 days a week.
Sweet,
so
sick.
I'm really into the gym. I love weightlifting.
Fuck yeah,
and
me
so
too,
I started weightlifting when I moved to Lethbridge, because the university gym was free for me because I was a student. So I started going to the gym, and that's when the other 50 pounds came off very easily, is because I started going to the gym, and since I was an athlete before, I have this competitive nature, and so, like, I'm competing against myself, quite honestly.
Oh yeah.
And so when I'm in there, like, everybody knows, like, we have a couple hostesses at my work that go to the same gym as me. They know not to talk to me at the gym. I am on gym mode. Don't bother me. I'm there for a reason, and it's not to talk to you. So that's kind of where I'm at. I know that sounds harsh, but...
I'm kind of the same way, but I mean, I can make time to chat with someone.
Oh,
but,
yeah. Like, obviously I'll say hi or whatever, but I don't want to have, like, a 20-minute conversation with you.
Okay, so walk me through, like, a workout then. Like, what do you do now? Like at the gym?
Like my splits?
Or well, you know, everyone like I don't like, for a guy like me that, like, I do work out all the time too. Like, I try to work out. My rule is you want to try to get to 1 hour a day, every day minimum.
Yeah.
But are we always achieving that? No. Like this job now is very all consuming. So, I mean, today I'm lucky if I get a half-hour workout in, but realistically, it's like I need to catch up on sleep. But like, I don't know, like, but I guess what I'm asking is, for instance, like, I'm big into circuit training now.
Yeah.
That's what I do. It's like I usually, like, I love podcasts, by the way, hence I do a podcast. But usually I listen to, like, a podcast for about 45 minutes, but for 45 minutes I barely stop. So when I'm in there, it's like I might go from shoulder press 30 pounds 12 reps to a bicep curl 50 pounds 12 reps, right to a dumbbell tricep press 50 pounds 12 reps, right to a squat with the same dumbbell. Then I might slow it down for 10 minutes and go deadlift as heavy as I could, 1 rep max. But, like, I just keep going from move to move to move. I find that my heart rate is highly elevated during this entire time. Like, I can feel my testosterone releasing, my endorphins are kicking in, and I'm listening to a podcast. It's like a triple whammy of health.
Yeah.
So, like, that's just a sample of what I do, and, like, I'm just curious what you do.
So for me, I split mine up a little bit differently than yours. So I focus on a specific muscle group every time I'm at the gym. So usually I go legs, pull, push. Another leg day, I hit legs twice a week, just because it's my strongest, and I don't know.
What do you do for legs? Like leg press, squat, hack squat?
Yeah, so squats, definitely. I like to do supersets with my legs because I feel like it's more of like a burn. Obviously, like glutes, I like to split my leg days up, one glute-based day and one quad-based day. Kind of depends.
Your glute day, does that also mean your hamstring day too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you do calves ever?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of just focus on that, and yeah, I've been going for like a year and a half. But I'm the same way. Like, I'd like to have like 4 or 5 days. I'm pretty lenient with myself, just because I like to have my muscles time to like recover and stuff. So, and usually since I'm working longer shifts on the weekend, those will be my rest days. So I usually do it during the week.
So do you eat now 3 meals a day, or like 2, or like what's your how frequent do you eat now? Your raw food diet, it sounds like. Well, not raw, but organic food diet. You know.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, people know me now. Like, I'm so bad with food. It's ridiculous because like I'm really forgetful with eating. Like, I just forget to eat because I'm either working, I'm at the gym, I'm doing something, and so I try to get at least 2 meals in a day.
2 meals in a day. Okay.
Usually, like, I'm also a big snacker, so I'll either have like days where I'm like snack, and then I'll have like one big meal, and then I have a couple snacks throughout the day, and I'm good. Or some days I'll just have like 2 really big solid meals, and then I'm good. But I'm not a big eater anymore. I'm gonna be real. Mm. I like beverages. I'm just like, I love cran sodas. I love soda. Like, seltzer is my thing. Like, I love soda water. It's so good. Like, I think that's another thing. Like, I'm replacing soda water with Diet Coke. I mean, the other way around. Yeah. Diet Coke with soda water. But I think I like
maybe it's because you like the vodka.
No. Like, just like regular seltzer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Sweet. Hey, like, well, whatever you're doing right now, you're obviously like doing good. Okay. Yeah, because you look in shape and everything. Like, I wouldn't have guessed that you were 100 pounds heavier at one point.
When I tell everybody, they're like, "Oh my god, no way!" I'm like, "Yeah, guys."
Yeah, guys.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna wind this down here, Hope. I'd really enjoy talking to you, and hop on the podcast whenever. You know, this is
really. I love talking about myself, especially. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, this is literally a get to know Hope Locke episode here. I was gonna ask you one last thing. I want to know more about this, and I should have budgeted my time better here. I can't. Is my other guest behind already? I can't see right here. Is there anyone?
No, there's nobody.
No? Okay, all right, good. They're running late, which works out for me. But your TikTok game, like, how'd you get 53,000 followers? Like,
so I actually used to have more followers than that even, but I just haven't been active, so I've always lost followers. But I posted one viral video in 2019 when TikTok was at its peak. And it went, like, by viral, I mean, it went, like, 7 million views.
Holy shit.
It was
what was it?
It's taken down now, so you can't find it. But it was basically just a story time. But I was just being very, like, dramatic because what happened just happened to me. And I was, like, very heightened about what happened. And it just, like, went crazy. I think the other thing that went crazy with it is I was, like, I only explained half the story at once. So I was like, come back for part 2. And so people were obviously liking the video, saving the video, watching the video so that they could come back to hear the rest of the story. Even though the story wasn't even that crazy.
What was it? I mean... It
was just a story time about me. Don't hate me. I was in the McDonald's drive-thru getting a Diet Coke. What a crazy moment that is. But, yeah, I was in the drive-thru getting a Diet Coke, and the person behind me was just, like, going crazy, like, screaming at me, and, like, it was weird. And so I, like, made a story time and, like, showed clips of it, like, whatever, and people were just, like, so invested about, like, what happened.
Of just this angry dude behind you in the drive-thru line? Which we've all been there, you know? So you just filmed it.
I just filmed it, and then, like, people were just so concerned about, like, what happened that they just came back to the profile. They followed to see if I was going to post the second video, like, whatever.
So did it get taken down because, like, they like, TikTok viewed it as you were harassing the guy?
No. I took it down.
Oh, you took it down. Oh, okay.
Just because I just didn't like the video myself personally.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. It was like in the video I was definitely being very over dramatic, and I think that's another reason why people just kept coming back.
Would you say you were acting?
I don't think I was acting. I was just like responding because I thought it was what was happening was crazy too. But I think my reaction was also a little crazy, and so that like definitely got some attention very quickly.
Okay. I want to see this video somehow if you have it on
Everybody
your
always
phone.
wants to see it, and I'm like,
Don't have it anymore?
it's in my back pocket.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, wait, what do you mean? Like, it's in your phone?
Oh yeah, I have the video.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Because if I actually deleted the video, it wouldn't show on my profile anymore.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we here at Kaks, like, we're definitely a social media business as well. So our TikTok game is horrendous. So that's the one lacking for sure. And I posted a clip recently of the one of the podcast episodes with the girls from the Stampede. Did you see that one? The Magic Johnson one? Yes. It got taken down. Yeah.
Really? They're so touchy these days about it.
They said it was harassment and bullying, but I was like, it's a funny moment.
Yeah.
It was like just comedic timing of the way she said it, and Magic Johnson doesn't give a fuck.
No,
like you know, like,
his name is in so many people's mouths.
Yeah, I was so confused, and then but the weird thing is it's still on Instagram and YouTube Shorts.
TikTok is so touchy with certain things. Like they'll just take sound, like even music.
Well,
that it's like popular music that's on the radio. They'll take it down. Like if it's like anything.
Just seems random because like you have literally like basically borderline porn on there, and then like you can't make a Magic Johnson joke. Yeah. Which I didn't say, like no. Kenzie said it, but
like it wasn't me.
Yeah, in fact I had to correct her on it because like they were both like I don't know, like it was just funny to me because I was like they're just so young that they basically don't fully know how AIDS and HIV works, because I was like it's HIV not AIDS, you know, it's and it's undetectable right now, the levels. It's been that way because of his antiretroviral cocktail that Magic Johnson takes, but anyway, Hope. Okay, I do gotta wind this down. I got the other guests supposed to be showing up here. Okay, do you mind if I put your TikTok on the show notes?
Sure.
Okay.
It's literally just my name. So.
Yeah, Hope Locke will be on the show notes. And if you're ever in the Aspen area of Calgary, as of right now, Hope is a server. And just server, right?
Yeah.
Or your hostess still?
No, I kind of do everything there, if you ask.
Okay. Do you bartend as well?
I used to bartend, yes.
Oh, okay, sick. Like, okay. Yeah, so if you're up in Aspen Landing at the Park Kitchen and Bar, come say hi to Hope. And don't forget to, tip your server, tip your bartender.
Tip your servers.
Yeah, exactly. And, have a Diet Coke and cheers to her.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right, okay.